And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factorio in our Extreme Production series. And yeah, we're working on aluminum. And this is one of those crafts that is tough. It's one of those crafts that's tough because it's multi-step, multiple ingredients. So the first step is using the bauxite. And the bauxite requires aluminum ore, which is what we're mining, and the sodium hydroxide. And this is a chemical furnace system. So we're going to use chemical furnaces here. And we need to leave a space, 1, 2, 3, a space in between every other one of these. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So, very, very much the same down here. Because the alumina is actually used in a couple places. So we're going to need a little bit of that as well. So, and the sodium hydroxide that we're cooking down for ferric chloride down here, this is just not enough. Not nearly enough. I mean, we only have 379 down there. So not even close to what we actually need. So I want to get the bauxite rolling so it's maxed out. I also want to make sure that this is a setup that is expandable, because these need, if we look at the ratios here. So the alumina needs 1 sodium hydroxide every 2 seconds. We get that sodium hydroxide from a salt water electrolysis. So 1 every 2 seconds. If we look at the salt water electrolysis, we get 1 every 2 seconds. So it is a 1-to-1 ratio. So I could, if I really, really wanted to, put the electrolyzer, which I know I've got, there we go. So the electrolyzer here this is a 1-to-1 relationship between the two. So if we look at the crafting speed, that's what really screws us up here. Crafting speed of 0.8, which is such a bizarre crafting speed, versus the chemical furnace, which is crafting speed of 2. So unfortunately, doing 1-to-1 will slow us down. So in order to maintain that speed, we're going to come out here a ways. And I want to make sure these are trees and rocks only. I want to clear all these things. And I want to stretch this out even further. And hopefully we'll get some buddies up here. Clear that out. So if I want to make this expandable, we're also going to need a ton of these, because we're going to have a lot of extra stuff, and plus some more canisters. Okay. So that's a lot of crafting to get done. So hopefully our bots clear this up. So now we need sodium hydroxide, and we do need more than we're able to produce 1-to-1 ratio. So I've got 20 chemical furnaces here, and these are all going to be set to alumina. Let's make sure they're copy and pasted across the board. And these crafting speed is 2. So we need at least 2 electrolyzers of these low-level Mark 1s to make up for what we lose over here. So I'm gonna give us a little bit of space before I build this setup, because we're gonna build this out here And I grabbed a bunch of these, so we should have a little bit of leeway. That way I can put in more chemical plants when the time comes. And we're definitely going to need more than what we're going to be putting in here. So we're going to push this out like this. Now, if we look at the salt in the saltwater electrolysis, because this requires salt, 1 salt every 2 seconds. Well, we get salt from the same process, from the chemical furnace. So if we look at that, that's not it. Salt. We get 1 every half second. So we're actually able to use 1 chemical furnace for every 2 electrolyzers. So this is going to be saltwater electrolysis, and this is going to be 1, and this is going to be salt. And of course, we need water, and I'll get to that in a second. But there's 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Again, we need twice as many electrolyzers as we have. Now you can capture the chlorine out of here if you so wish, and use that to process other things. So like the one major element is gold. Gold uses chlorine in its processing. So you can pull out the chlorine and use it for that if you want. But you're going to have to move it around. I don't think there's actually a way. So there's petroleum gas. I'm not seeing chlorine in there at all. I may have to research it. Maybe not. I thought it was an option, but it might not be. Yeah, it might not be, which would be a shame. Fluid handling 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, none of those. Oh, there it is. Got it. Bottled gas processing. This is it right here. So these only hold 50. You can see that? That's very little amount compared to what you need for. Oh, actually, you only need 3. Okay. Well, how much chlorine are these going to make? These are going to make 25 chlorine for every craft that it does. I still think we want to save it though. For gold processing. Because why waste it? This is extreme production, but it's not going to want to waste it. And here's a problem. I just discovered a problem. The hydrogen needs to be vented. The only way to vent it, we need to put venters on it, like this. But if we have chlorine in here, and we have side loaders like this, it's going to use all of those setups. So that's kind of a problem. So one thing I could do, let's take all these away. Take all these away. Give ourselves a little more space. We're gonna go out one. Good old Bob. Good old Bob. Always trying to make things so much easier. That was sarcasm, by the way. I could not directly vent the hydrogen. I could, combine it all together into, one tank and then vent it from there, or convert it into fuel, or, there's a lot of things you can do with that hydrogen. But we're not going to worry about that too much. And then I can use one of these going down, and then I can just offset it one back. And I need a chemical furnace, one each on each of these, and that should be plenty. And then this is going to be salt. Unfortunately, I also need, if I connect the pipes up like this, how then do I move the salt? One of these actually would be enough for 4 of these, so I'm gonna rethink that. I'm gonna redo that, and then we're gonna load up the water in all of these, kind of how we do everything else, like all the oil stuff. And that'll leave us a gap for a possible belt coming in with salt back here. And I'm going to need some salt back here too, but I need to clear all these first so I can offset them too. And this should give us, it'll be a little less than what we could use because of the 0.8 craft instead of 1 for reasons that are beyond my understanding. But once we start upgrading these to higher tiers, we shouldn't have too many problems. Okay, so the chlorine, I'm gonna bring out here, and we're gonna bring it up to here. And I'm gonna move it up even more, and I'm gonna have a tank. And I need some tanks, and I automated tanks, so I shouldn't have to dive too deep to grab these. I just want to make sure I don't want to grab 100 tanks. So we're gonna have a tank here, 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 and here, and then pumps. So this tank back in here, this is the master tank. This one will fill up before any of these other ones. And I just wanted to make sure we have plenty of storage up there for when we kickstart this process. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why do you not like me, game? Weird. Those things overwrote the pipes. And get all these set up. And then let's set them all. So I'll just walk down the line here. That works just fine. So the salt is the other issue, and I think we'll be able to get away with quite a lot of salt here. because one chemical plant is enough to keep 4 of these running, and we have 20, so we just need like 5 chemical plants running salt. So we have like one, no, we're gonna have to match these up. 1, 2, no, that's not gonna work. Oh, I was hoping it would, but it won't. Okay, so all of this water, I'm going to load it in from this side. That's not where I want you to connect. I want you to connect down here. Wow, I almost really messed that up. That would have been a really bad mistake right there, had I not caught that. So people who are screaming at your monitors, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Because how much water do these use? 10 water? I might be able to get away with sharing the water here. Only 10 water. This thing can pump like 2,000 water a minute. Okay, so now it is salt time. So, just because we can, I'm going to have electrochemical furnace. I'm going to have 6 of these. I only need 5, but I'm going to have 6 anyway. Nope. And we're going to have these going this way. We're going to have the water pumping up into them like that. 6 is nice because it's an even number, so with the amount of inserters that we're going to put out here, I can have 3 of them offset and place it on the close side, and that's nice and even number. And then I want 1 pickup for salt, and this is nice because it separates the crafts, so we can expand one, we can expand the other, we can sort of make it work. And it's tileable, so we can actually take this whole setup and tile it down a ways. Okay, so the rest is power, and we want to first get some of this stuff powered up. So first is all of that, and then we want some salt coming in. Get all of those covered. I want to make sure salt starts getting dumped in. And then I also want to make sure we have water in the pipes. As you can see, we've already got some chlorine coming in. And now let's really power this thing up. Okay, so I've got all that. Get all of this. Again, this is all for aluminum. So there we go. We are now producing 20 basically 10 per second. It's 20 every 2 seconds. And we're producing a ton of chlorine. So I actually need to come up here And we need to do one of these. I need to do one of these. I need to connect that up. And chlorine. This is 25, 50, so 90,000. When chlorine is greater than 90,000. So where is it? There it is, chlorine. So when chlorine is greater than 90,000, that means this system is tapped out, and we're going to want to start venting it. I'm going to put these out. It shouldn't be greater than 90,000. Why is this? These are all synced up. Okay, I think I know why it did that. And then this is going to be chlorine bottler. And obviously we want provider requester. So this is going to be gas bottle. And finally, I don't have any gas bottles. I wonder what it takes to make one of those. It's gas bottles. 5 gas bottles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. You can see the chlorine fills up fast. It starts moving pretty fast. And then we want to set this for less than, I want to do 400. Where are all my fluids? There we go. Chlorine, not bottled hydrogen, bottled chlorine is less than 400. Go ahead and put them in there. So I want to make a few more of those. Just in case. And this should be full, which is nice. And now we've got a few more canisters. Just a few. I'm making 5 at a time. I want to make sure we have enough to cover everything. So I don't even know if I have, that's 1, 2, 3. I might have enough. I want to make sure there's enough for 400 in there. Okay, so alumina is ready to go, and we're going to output it onto underground belts in between. I want to consolidate all the alumina that we've got. So I want, let's see, I want one here, 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 and here. This might seem a little weird, but alumina is used in another recipe that's kind of important. So I want to make sure we are centralizing the alumina and storing a good amount of it for use. So alumina comes out this way, and we want to load it into there. And then we need a whole lot of inserters to wrap it up. Okay, so these, okay, I want to do the outside on these. Okay, these are ready to go. Unfortunately, we don't have enough. I'm gonna put these, nestle these close. And these are gonna be slightly farther away. And of course, reasons. Okay. All right, alumina is on the way, and the last step is aluminum plate, which is just the alumina and carbon in another set of electrolyzers. And the craft time on that is 7 seconds. So we're actually making alumina every 2 seconds, and we're crafting it into plate every 7 seconds. So for every one of these that we have working full time, we can support 3 aluminum plate production. So it's a substantial amount, and this will ensure that you know, as we build up in production. Wow, we are draining way more than I thought we were out of here. I might need more electrolyzers. Look at that, just drained all those out. Like completely gone. Wow. That's insane. I'm crafting those way faster than I thought. Well, I'm glad I made this expandable. Now I can just add electrolyzers onto the end here and go with it that way. But I'm gonna run down and start auto-crafting these gas vents because, yeah, I'm gonna need a few more of these as we progress into the game. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't think that was gonna happen at all. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.